A little preview here on the Baltimore Ravens ebook that I'm releasing on the Deuce Close Plus YouTube membership later tonight, or maybe tomorrow morning, depending on how long it takes to upload. I used this playbook a lot last year, and although I tried to kind of get away from it this year, try some different things, I just keep coming back to it, mainly because of the great variety that it has. And that's what I want to showcase in this video to you all. It has formations with perfect contains, which is really, really rare in this game. It has adaptable and disguisable coverages that are great for some of these meta combinations that you see. Tough to block blitzes, some actually unguardable blitzes, some run commit glitches, and much, much more. If you're interested in following along in our journey through this playbook, definitely consider joining the YouTube membership. At least for the next couple of months, each week we'll be doing a deep dive into either a new Ravens defensive formation or a deep dive into a new Giants offensive formation until we've kind of exhausted everything, and then we'll move on to something new. But for now, this video will be a simple showcase that you can actually kind of immediately implement some of these things, whether you're using Ravens or you're just using something else that happens to have these plays and formations. And then the members will get a full breakdown of my favorite pass defense formation in the game, which is the dime 2-3-6, something that you actually rarely see, but it's really, really good. And one of the reasons that the dime 2-3-6 is so good is that it's very hard to escape out of the pocket. So right here, we're in everybody's favorite gun punch tight end. We know that it's not as bad this year, but it's not as overpowered this year, but it's still pretty tough to deal with if you don't really know what you're doing here. So of course you delay fade the tight end, you kind of cancel that contain out, you roll outside the pocket, and then you do whatever you want from there. But with this formation, if you spread your linebackers, so your linebackers are essentially outside linebackers, you have two outside linebackers, and then you have a middle linebacker as well, just like that. So if you spread them, they go really, really wide. Likewise, you can also, just so you're not completely spread, like you don't have this huge B gap right here, you can also just shift it towards the side that you think that they're rolling out on. So in this case, this guy's playing a little bit tighter. And then we have the contain over here. So now we're not really worried about this side. Maybe you can blitz them or something like that. But we're more so working on that contain right now. So in this case, they will go ahead and do this delay fade right here. And you'll see that just because like the angle at which he's coming from, it makes it really, really difficult to get a double team on him. And we can do that over and over again, and it's always going to be the same thing. So delay fade on this guy, you'll see only one of those guys will be able to attach to him, and it makes it virtually impossible to escape on. On top of that, let's go ahead and do the same thing. So let's get to a regular passing play right now. Say somebody's dialing up a shot. Just forget about what play this is, but pretend they're dialing up a shot, trying to escape the pocket a little bit. And what people normally do is they double team the edge guy. But because our outside linebackers are so wide, you don't have the actual ability to double team that guy. This is, I believe, also something that's possible in nickel 3-3-5 wide. The problem with that, though, is that that outside linebacker is generally a coverage player in that formation. So if you're blitzing him, then you essentially lose a coverage player. You have to drop one of your interior defensive linemen, and that's really not ideal. That's why I like this 4-down set right here, because we can get that wide contain, but we also have the proper players in coverage. So here, the best thing we can do, we can't double team that edge guy, but let's go anyway. Let's block the tight end. And let's see if we can get around him. So again, I did, my contain right here, and you see that there's no way that you can possibly double team him, and he's always going to be there to contain the quarterback. Okay, so moving on to the other 2-3-6 in this formation, which is the 2-3-6 will. So this is more of an odd front right here, more of a kind of a traditional dime look where your dime defender is outside the tackle box and not in the box like he was in dime 2-3-6. And this formation isn't super. I don't like it as much because you don't have the ability to contain whoever you want, but it's great defense to run against pass heavy guys on third and long, fourth and long, because it has this really wild blitz right here. So I forget what this is called, but this is a cover 2 blitz in this dime 2-3-6 will. There's also a cover 3 and a cover 1 version that work just the same, except they come off the strong side, and that's difficult, particularly against bunch, because it's just a bit of a jumbled mess. This cover 2 version is nice because it's always coming on the weak side here, so you'll always kind of have a free, clean path at the quarterback. Or you could flip it. This is an easily flippable formation because it's symmetric. But anyway, what you're going to do here is simply just you take that dime backer over there and put him into coverage. So whatever you want, you can put him in a vert hook or man coverage or whatever you want. And then you just contain and you're ready to go. And this outside linebacker right here, or this really inside linebacker, this will linebacker will loop around everybody and come in free. If they slide, they can pick it up. But if what you do, you can do this. You can slide your defensive line or shift your defensive line to the right, spread your linebackers, and this is virtually unguardable right here. Okay, so we'll just go 5-man pass rush right here against this, and you'll see he just loops all the way around, and you can't pick that up. Now, I won't go into every detail here, how you do the coverages and like all the different types of setups that you see, but here is what I'll do here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this guy out of the play, this guy out of the play. I'm going to contain here. So it's a 2-man pass rush. I am max protecting. I'm sliding towards the blitz. And you see that he comes all the way around and he still comes at the quarterback. Pretty nice. Okay, moving back to these 4-down kind of pass coverage type of fronts right here. This is just a little preview of the kind of cool things that you could do in terms of coverage. This is something you can do really out of anything. Doesn't matter what formation or anything like that. One thing that I like to do against these trips tight end, tray wide flex type of formations, for me, other than zone drops or user covering yourself, the most consistent possible way to defend these crossers from these types of formations, like PA crossers right here, which we know is really, really difficult for man. Man can't cover it, match like rarely covers it, and then zone without zone drop coverages can't. Or if you use zone drops, then it's kind of tough. You're giving up too many flat zones and things like that. But what you can do is you can hot route this weak side safety into an inside quarter. And then, in this case, I lost a flat player, but what I can do is man up on the running back so we can be good against those table routes. With the cover 3 patch, this guy plays the corner route from the tight end really, really well. So for the first time, you're really good with cover 3 against this tray wide flex because you can defend smash and then you can defend crossers as well right here. So this man will do a great job against the table route. This guy will do a great job against the corner and even drift back if they're trying to hit you over the top. And then hot routing that inside safety to an inside quarter, you'll see how consistently and how well he plays this crossing route right here. Just perfect transition, and there's just nothing you can do against that. Or if you don't want to play around with doing any sort of hot routes or anything, what you can look at is this nickel dog mag coverage in double A gap. It's kind of like quarter, like this side right here will play, I believe it plays quarters. The quarters are special, I already forget. But what's important here is that this is a hot route quarter zone rather than a regular quarter zone, if that makes sense. If I call regular quarters against this formation, this guy is not reliable at all. In most cases, he'll just watch the crosser. He'll just forget about the crosser. He'll let him go and catch easy yards down the sideline. But for whatever reason, this particular version of quarters, he will play well, just like that hot route version that I just showed you right there. Now, you lose a 3-rec player, but because you don't have to worry about crossers, you can use this player right here. So what you can do is you can spread your linebackers and you have kind of this wide 9 type of look. You got the hook right here, you got the flat, and you should be good to go right here. So let me just, so he doesn't come in the pass rush, let me just spy him off right here and just show you again, run these guys off. And you see this weak side safety. Yeah, it does play special. So in the end, you get a double coverage on that, and it plays it, again, really, really well. And another great thing about this particular play right here is that it lends itself nicely to some of these double A gap pressures that you can make, right? With just sending 5, like you're showing 6, but you end up sending 5, you peel one of your guys off. And if they're not blocking the running back, that edge guy comes in free, and there's nothing they can really do about that. But one thing you can do, like in this case, I'm reading the offensive lineman. If the guy engages with me, I'm going to touch him and peel off. So in this case, he engages, I peel off. I had kind of a wonky angle there, but we still got that free pressure. And what will happen if they block the running back will pick me up essentially. So if nobody engages with me, I'm going to run straight through the gap, blow past the running back, and get my sack. So in this case, see, nobody takes me, blow past the running back, and get my sack. And that's kind of more or less the theme of this playbook. There's just so many different ways that we can bring pressure in all sorts of different formations, whatever you feel like, whatever's best suited to the offense that you're coming across, which of course we'll get into more detail, but this is just a little taste of what we can do. I've already done a video on this, nickel 3-3-5 odd, where we shift our defensive line into an underfront, we contain, And this blitz right here can't be picked up without blocking a running back. That's the only way they can really pick it up. And if they don't, the blitz is coming in. If they do, we're taking the running back out of the play. So it's kind of a win-win for us. So in this case, you see we loop right around that guard and he comes in for that pressure. And the last thing I'll share in this video right here, this preview video right here, is how good 245 and 236 cover 6 are against gun bunch, both in terms of a pass defense and then also in terms of blitzing as well. So what I do here is if I blitz all my linebackers right here, so I lose one hook defender and I lose I lose essentially both hook defenders right here, but I'm going to man up the running back right here, and I'm also going to man up the solo guy right here. So right here, essentially what you have is quarters, because this guy's in man anyway. This guy is in man on the running back, but we're just swapping roles between the defensive end and him. We lose the 3 rec because he's coming in on the blitz, but we're going to replace him essentially with the weak side safety right here. So we're going to be playing the box over the 3 right here. We're manning up the backside, and then we're playing box over here. First out, second in, and then we're playing first in, or if there isn't, we'll help out on the crosser essentially. What's really cool here is that essentially this works against anything they throw at you. So right here, if they block the running back, you'll see that at least one of these guys is going to come in at the quarterback. Now you can just simplify this and simply just blitz the mic right here, and that'll work just fine when they're not blocking the running back. You see he comes around the guard and comes in. But if you are coming up against somebody that does tend to block the running back, then this is your option, just to guarantee that your pressure is going to come in. It's really, really quick. Just global blitz all your linebackers, man up this guy. I would man up the backside over here, and then again, you're taking the weak side safety and you're playing the lower left corner of the box. And again, if they block the running back right here, one of these guys will come in if they don't run into each other over here on the edge. I guess that's always the problem, even when you find like the perfect blitz, some of these guys will always take some weird angles to take themselves out of the play right here. But more often than not, if you run this a few times, you see how at least one of those guys comes through at the quarterback. Plus, you have contains. And then on top of that, you don't have to run the blitz every time, right? You can, you can use a rush if you want, if you're crazy like me, or you can just be on the vertical or hook right here, or the 3 rec, and just do your normal lurking. That the box check over here on the bunch will do a great job of covering flood. And what I like about the cover 6 side back here, particularly what I'll do is I'll put the soft squat into a cloud flat. What's good about that is that if you're not using the 3 receiver hook, I think this does kind of the best job at defending those running back in routes, like those, in 4 verticals, he comes through the B gap and he comes, underneath. With regular quarters, this guy has a man-to-man, and he gets absolutely cooked. In this case, at least you have a little bit better leverage right here. And then I think that's the best way of playing it without, selling out with underneath shade on your zone coverages. Plus, what's cool is that I think this is the best way to deal with post routes from the backside right here, because you get a chuck on that guy, delaying things a little bit. And then that weak side safety, if I have a little bit of time right here, he does a great job of converting, and you really can't throw that. So that's really, really nice. I think much, much better option than quarters or palms. Okay, that's it, guys. Nice little preview right there of what's to come. Again, the first video is going to be a deep dive into dime 236, which I think is definitely worth it. I think it's the most important in this ebook, just in terms of coverages, blitzes, keeping that quarterback in the pocket, forcing him to make a read inside the pocket, which a lot of people don't like to do. And then plus we have so many other things in terms of user rush techniques and game plans there. All these different types of disguisable coverages that you can do, and how to adapt them to some of these meta looks that you'll be getting. And then, of course, in the videos to come, we'll be going into a lot of the other formations that you see here, that crazy 2-3-6 will blitz formation and everything like that. And then on the odd weeks, we'll do the New York Giants offensive book as well. So if you haven't already, I think this is a great opportunity to join. It's really not much, it's $5 a month. But every week you're getting something I think is not only great for building the playbook, right? We're doing this slowly, taking it one at a time. So, you can get used to 1 or 2 formations and then build that over time. Or if you don't want to buy into Ravens, if you don't want to buy into Giants, you want to stay with your own playbooks, I think there's still a lot that you can use personally because, of course, a lot of these formations are not just in Ravens. You can find them elsewhere, or even just conceptually, even if I'm talking about cover 6 in 2-4-5, but you can use cover 6 in like nickel triple or something like that, and you can add a lot of this knowledge to what you're doing. I think it's definitely well worth it, and I hope to see you guys there. Okay, we'll see you in the next one.